There's Masters. Great chance here. That does it. Steve McGavin. And for the first time, Colchester United have won a major final.
Still Garcia. Finally, the company arrives and it's in. It's a freak-out goal from Ricardo Carvalho. Richard Garcia wants the credit, and the shock is on at the bridge.
And it's promotion for Colchester United. They've made it into the Championship for the first time in 69 years.
Porter, being held. There is Porter, and that's Walker!
And welcome to Beyond the Barside Meets. This is the part of the podcast where I get to speak to some of the current, former and maybe even future legends of Colchester United. This is episode 2 and I have been joined by, at time of recording, Colchester United's most recent signing, centre-back Jack Baldwin. Jack spoke about what it's like to come into Colchester United and what he hopes to achieve during his time here, as well as looking at some of the things that he's achieved in his career too. It was a great chat. Very, very fortunate to speak to Jack, and I really appreciate him giving his time and sharing some of his thoughts. So big thank you to Jack, and I hope you enjoy it. Cheers. Welcome to Beyond the Barside Meets, episode 2, and we are joined by, at time of recording, Colchester's latest signing, Jack Baldwin. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, all good, thank you. All good. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Firstly, welcome to the club. It's great to have you on board. What have your first few weeks been like since joining?
Yeah, a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. I signed, I trained for 2 days and then I picked up a slight knock in training when we travelled to the Oldham game. So for the I don't know what the term is, the eagle-eyed fans among the listeners would have noticed that I was there, but I was sat in the stands. So yeah, it was a little bit of a frustrating start. I was out for like a week, 10 days. And then, yeah, I've been back training, obviously got in the squad on Saturday, got on the pitch for a couple of minutes at the end. So obviously, despite the result, it was good to get out there and, yeah, feel like you're part of it, because it's obviously good coming into a club and you want to hit the ground running straight away. But when you take a little setback, you're kind of in the gym or away from the team, and it's nice to be in the mix now and ready to go.
Yeah, you managed to get on, as you say, for a little bit in the Barrow game. You're joining up with Tom Flanagan. Obviously, you spent a little bit of time together at Sunderland. Yeah. You made the final of the EFL trophy and you got into the playoff semis as well. Is it fair to say that you're hoping to sort of emulate some of that success that you two shared at Sunderland?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the year that I was at Sunderland, we ultimately didn't end up doing anything. So hopefully, we can emulate that and go one better though. So yeah, obviously I know Flan from Sunderland. I know a couple of other lads from previous clubs as well. Harry Anderson I've worked with, Aurora Edwards I've worked with, Ben Perry before he got injured. Obviously I was with him last season at Northampton. So that made things better as well, obviously coming into the club, knowing a few faces. But obviously speaking to the managers and yeah, we want to have a good season, and they want to build upon what they finished, how they finished the season last year. So hopefully, I can be a big part of that. But yeah, time will tell.
Yeah, definitely, and it ended so strongly last year. We ran out of steam a little bit towards the end. Injury sort of decimated us towards the run-in, and we've kept a lot of that core side together. You mentioned Ben Perry out for the season now, which is such a shame. I mean, how big of a loss is losing someone like Ben Perry?
Yeah, he's a great young lad. He'll honestly, like, from what you would have seen on the first couple of games, like, he'll run through brick walls for the team and to try and get the win. And he'll be a massive loss for us for sure. He gives us that kind of bite in midfield, and that breaks up play really well. Does a defensive side of the game really well as well. composed on the ball. But obviously, unfortunately, that's part of football. And for the other lads coming into the team, it gives them now a chance to go and implement themselves on the fixtures ahead and really claim that spot. And I think obviously Arthur Reed's come in and he's done excellent since coming in. And we've got obviously Gapey back now from injury, getting ready to be available. So yeah, obviously we call him Pez, but yeah, Ben's he's a massive loss. And it's a horrible injury for anybody to pick up. So yeah, we wish him well, but obviously we've got to try and do the best we can without him.
Yeah, definitely. And as a centre half, having someone like Ben Perry ahead of you must make your job seem a little bit easier. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, obviously, if we can, as simple as it sounds, if we can stop the ball higher up the pitch before it gets to the back line, then brilliant. Sounds a bit lazy from us. If they can do our job, they can do our job for us higher up the pitch, then we don't have to defend. But yeah, no, listen, it's always nice to have somebody like that in front of you, breaking up play. Even for like when you have the physical battles with big strikers in this league, you can just get that midfielder to just stand on the striker's toes and try and challenge for that first ball, and you can just kind of sweep up behind and receive any flick-ons. And whereas now it's going to be more probably going to centre half going to actually do their job, go and compete for the headers, and we just have to make sure that the other lads are kind of sweeping around. And yeah, like I say, it's going to be a massive loss. But yeah, now we have to do our jobs.
Yeah, it's a fairly young squad as well, isn't it? The Colchester side, and you've been captain at a few of the clubs you've played for. Do you see yourself as being a little bit of a mentor in the dressing room while you're at Colchester?
Yeah, I think like naturally, I kind of once I've settled in to the way, obviously the team work and understanding the characters that we've got in the dressing room a little bit more. I think naturally, as a senior player in a dressing room, you'll kind of gravitate towards that sort of role anyway. Even as a kind of, I say a younger pro, but like a probably 25, 26-year-old. If there was an 18-year-old coming through, I'd always find myself kind of chatting to them on a one-to-one and like trying to make them feel like calm and not feel any pressure so they can go, because ultimately for our forward players, our younger players, they're our most creative players, and if they can feel that sense of confidence and freedom to go and play, that's when they play their best. So I think obviously the staff at the club are excellent, and they really give that to those players as well. But if I can kind of do that from a player's side of point of view as well, yeah, so if you get that kind of encouragement from your peers, I think that's different to getting it from a coach or a manager. So yeah, I think naturally I'll lean into that. It's not something that I've come in to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to come be this leader in a dressing room and do this, do that, because it's not my character. I think just naturally as time goes on, I'll just speak to lads on a human level and just try and encourage them where I can. They might not listen to me, and they might think I'm an absolute dinosaur, but yeah, it'll be there if they want to take it.
Ah, brilliant! Yeah, it sounds like it's a good dressing room to be in. You mentioned the staff. Obviously, Colchester fans are quite enamoured with the management duo of Danny and Nicky. Obviously, you've been here for a few weeks now. What's it like coming in and working under them?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Obviously, I've had a lot of managers in my career. Some I've liked, some I haven't liked. But you just obviously, as a professional, you just get your head down and do as you're told, and try to make the most of it. Whereas, yeah, coming in to work with Danny and Nicky's been real eye opening. Like, and I think it's an environment and a way of working that I'll really take to. Like I like the way they work. And like I said previously, like the encouragement they give to the boys, and like you really believe that they're there to make us better as players, and ultimately they understand if they can make us better, then it'll make the team better and it'll bring success for the club. So yeah, they really care. Like they really care about the players' development, which can sometimes get overlooked in the game, because obviously it's a results driven business, and obviously when things aren't going well for managers, they can kind of come away from that and it's just about winning. And obviously I'm not saying that they don't want to win, because they really do, and you can really tell that. But they're trying to do it for a way where they're making us better as people and as players as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that comes across when Danny especially speaks in the media, that positivity and how much he cares about the players that are playing under him as well. So yeah, it's really nice to hear that's sort of the players' impression of him as well. But going back to you, you came through Hartlepool, was your first professional club. And you made your debut against Colchester.
Yeah.
What are your memories from that game?
Yeah, kind of come full circle. So yeah, my first professional contract was at Hartlepool United. I was a 18-year-old, kind of fresh out of non-league. Hadn't really had any professional experience before, so I signed in the summer of 2011, I want to say. I think it was. And yeah, I didn't actually get a game until around about December time, I think. So we lost. Like, our manager got sacked, and then the caretaker manager came in, the assistant coach, and he chucked me in and another young lad that had come through their academy, young striker Luke James. We made our debuts together. So two young lads, kind of eager to impress. And obviously throughout my career I've played centre half, but I actually made my debut against Colchester in the middle of the park. So I was running around trying to kick some Colchester midfielders and put it about in the middle. But yeah, like I think we lost the game 2-1. But yeah, I remember. Yeah, I've always had that affiliation to Colchester, because it's who I made my debut against, and I grew up just outside of East London, so it's a pretty local club as well. Like, it's not a million miles away from where I grew up, and where I'm living now. So yeah, that was a long time ago. A long time ago.
And was it Mick Wadsworth that brought you in, or was it Mick that gave you
Yeah.
your debut?
Yeah, so Mick Wadsworth brought me in, signed me, but unfortunately, obviously, I didn't get to play under him. And Mickey Barron was the assistant coach who took the game took the team for a couple of weeks, and yeah, he was the one that gave me my chance in the professional game.
Yeah, so Colchester fans will remember Wadsworth a little bit, 'cause he managed Colchester.
Yeah.
And he had a little bit of a knack for bringing young players into the club then, and obviously
Right.
carried it on, sort of signing you from non-league and bringing Luke James into the fold as well. So that's that's something that Hughes fans remember. But then you moved from Hartlepool to Peterborough. Was it $500,000 you went for in the end?
Yeah, I actually still don't know really to this day. I think that was the rumored fee. Yeah.
Yeah, you never truly know, do you, in football
No.
now, how much people are worth?
Even as a player, I don't actually know, but I've never actually asked either, to be honest.
So was that Barry Fry?
Yeah, Barry Fry was like, I think he's the director of football. Darren Ferguson was the manager. And yeah, that was a deadline day move that came out of nowhere, really. And I knew nothing about it. And I was eating my dinner, like, in Hartlepool. It was like half past 5 in the evening. Me and she's my wife now. My girlfriend at the time was just sitting eating dinner, and then my agent rang and he was like, "You need to get some bags together and start heading down to Peterborough. Like, we're going to sign for Peterborough tonight." And I got down there at like 10 o'clock or whatever it was, and literally signed just before the window shut on deadline day.
That's a heck of a drive, isn't it? Hartlepool to Peterborough.
Yeah.
You've not even finished your tea yet. That's incredible.
Abandoned dinner on the table, and just couldn't like get back up there for like a week or so to sort the house out. So there was a half-eaten pasta bake on the table, I think it was, for a week.
So was it Fergie that signed you, or was it Barry Fry? Who did you do the dealings with?
So obviously when I got down there, I went and spoke to the manager. I spoke briefly to Barry as well. Obviously, the secretary was there doing. Liz, still speak to Liz today. Yeah, she's an amazing servant for that football club. So yeah, special mention to her. But yeah, she's yeah, I've done most of the dealings between the managers and then go and sign up paperwork with the secretary. But yeah, it was a whirlwind experience.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just straight away, you got to bomb down the motorway and sign for a League One side at the time. You spent a few years at Peterborough. You ended up being the captain, didn't you? Towards sort of the end of your time there.
Yeah.
What sort of things stick out for you during your time at Peterborough?
Yeah, I remember obviously at the time it was Hartlepool was my first experience of professional football, and it was like a big step up for me. It was a fantastic football club for me to go to. Very, very good fan base considering like the size of the town and geographically where it is. Very well supported, and I really enjoyed my time up there. I met like some of the locals, and I got speaking to them, and still speak to some of them to this day today. So yeah, that was a great experience. But then I remember moving to Peterborough, and it was like a real step up, and it was like now, like no disrespect to Hartlepool, but like that step up then felt like right now I'm in like proper business with football, because Peterborough had this reputation for bringing through young players, selling them on, and it was kind of like, this is my opportunity to go and make an impression and like make a name for myself in the game. And yeah, I think even like with my contract, I think I signed like a 4-year deal or a 4.5-year deal or whatever it was at the time, which was a massive thing for me and my family. And it was, yeah, I was looking at that to go and then use it as a stepping stone to kick on again and try and get as high as I possibly could. Yeah, and then obviously I was there for 4.5 years, got the armband towards the back end of my time there, but still had some like massive names in the dressing room that was more senior than me, had played more games than me. So to get the armband, it was a bit of a, like, not a shock, because I've always had this label that I'm this mature player. Even when I was a young lad, it was mature beyond his years, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not really the loudest off the pitch at all. Like in the dressing room, I'm not going to go and like shout at anyone or start a fight with anyone. But once I get across the white line, I'm really verbal, really vocal, really try and like drive the lads forward. And I've always tried to just do the right things, like on and off the pitch. And I think that's probably why I get looked at as like not a reliable figure, but like a senior, professional, mature person, because I'm always just trying to do the right things and lead by example rather than lead by shouting at people or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fantastic time at Peterborough. Didn't quite get the success that we wanted. I think when I signed in the January, we lost in the playoff semi-finals that season that I signed, so the back end of that season. And then, yeah, when I come back for the next season, I ended up like tearing my knee apart in a pretty bad injury that kept me out a year. So it had ups and it had downs, and both my children were born in Peterborough, so it's a place that we still hold close to our hearts, really. And yeah, it was a good time for us as a family, really.
Yeah, and then you move to Sunderland, which is the same league. They're in League One at that point, is that right?
Yeah,
but
correct,
obviously the size of a club like Sunderland in terms of the fan base and the stature that it sort of holds within the English game. How did you feel sort of going from Peterborough back up to probably somewhere geographically a bit more familiar for you, having sort of come through at Hartlepool, but that sort of huge expectation of going to a team like Sunderland? Did you feel that?
Yeah, a little bit. So it's funny because when I was at Hartlepool, so just before I signed for Peterborough, there was like some rumours and stuff that I was going to sign for Sunderland then as a 19, 20-year-old. Obviously that didn't happen. So fast forward 4.5, 5 years or whatever it is. Obviously get the chance to go back up to the northeast and play my football up there. And I remember thinking that obviously I was absolutely delighted that the opportunity had come in, and obviously the expectation of the club was to get back to the championship and really kick on. Obviously that didn't happen the year that I was there, but just walking into the club, the training ground, seeing the stadium, the facilities, everything was just like, again, from that Hartlepool to Peterborough step, it was another step up, and it was another chance to go and prove myself, and again, really try and make a name for myself in the game. I was 24 at the time, 25 maybe. So still like at a good age where you can make a good name for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I was there for first few weeks. I found it difficult. I felt a little bit of a imposter syndrome going up there. I was sharing the changing room with like Lee Catamole and Glenn Luvens, Brian Oviedo, Aidan McGeady, like some big names in the game of football. And I felt a little bit like not that I didn't belong there, because it was a great group of lads, but just the environment itself, with the size of the club, the facilities, it was like, this is beyond anything I've ever been used to or had experience of. So I did feel a little bit like a little kid, like what am I doing here? Like rabbit in the headlights type thing. But I got a chance, and I played majority of the season, and I'm sure Sunderland fans might disagree, but I had an okay season. Like I had a couple of terrible games, as like anyone does, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
as young footballers do, it's one of those
yeah,
things, isn't it?
I look back at it as a quite, for me and my outlook on life in general, it was quite a successful year for me, because it was a combination of having that step up, having to deal with that expectation, dealing with new surroundings, but then going to play more games than I'd played in a season since my injury. So it was like, like I can still do it type of thing.
Yeah. And was the Netflix documentary going on around that time as well?
Yeah, I think the second season.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that
Made it
like? What's that like, having Netflix around?
It was, again, another new experience for me, and beyond anything that I'd been used to up until that point. The only media or anything I'd done before that was just post-game interviews with an iPhone in your face. Whereas there was multiple people around the training ground, in the canteens with cameras and whatever else. But I'd heard that had been scaled back a lot from the year before. So the first season, it was like they had just free reign of the training ground. But the year I signed, apparently it'd been scaled back a lot. They had to get like permissions from players and stuff. And I done one small piece with them where they came to my house and we had a chat, and I think they spoke to my wife, but I don't actually know how long I featured, because I've still not watched it.
Have you not?
Not watched it? No, and I don't think I ever will, to be honest.
I think that's fair enough. Especially they sort of painted a few pictures where it seemed a bit David Brentish, didn't it, at times in the boardroom. So I don't know. It seemed like they had a little bit.
I've seen clips of
of the music.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Obviously, you're at Colchester now. Colchester fans were desperate to sign a centre back. Flanagan, Tucker have started the season really well, but sort of that depth wasn't there. You've come in, fans are absolutely buzzing. So what can Colchester fans expect to see from you this season? What sort of player are you? What are fans going to be looking for?
Hopefully they get to see a bit of me this year. Like I'm just pretty, I wouldn't say an old school centre half, because I'm not saying I don't know, but I'll throw my body on the line for trying to save goals. I'm quite aggressive. I'd love getting stuck in with a challenge and having a tussle with a big physical striker, which I'm sure there's going to be a few this year. On the flip side, I like to try and get on the ball and help build attacks from the back, which obviously the manager, Danny and Nicky, really want us to do as a team, and help sustain attacks in opposition halves, recycle the ball, keep the ball moving. But yeah, like I've chipped my tooth defending for teams. I've broke my nose defending for teams. I've dislocated fingers and had injuries and whatever else, and I won't stop. Yeah, I won't stop doing it anytime soon. So yeah, I mean, it's our job at the end of the day, and for as long as I'm a Colchester United player, I'll give everything and put my body on the line when needed. So yeah, I don't really know what else.
Yeah,
what else I can give.
I think fans will listen to that and think, yeah, brilliant. That's exactly what we want in a player. What are your hopes for the season, sort of moving forward? Obviously, you said that Danny and Nicky are looking to push on and build on last year, but what are you hoping for?
Yeah, I think obviously coming into like you said earlier, a young squad, an exciting squad that've still got a lot of players from last year, but equally we've signed a few new players as well. So it's about getting that cohesion and getting everybody on the same page as quick as we can. So I think we've shown some really good stuff in this early period of the season. We've also shown that we can improve on some other areas as well. So yeah, for me personally, looking at the very limited time I've had with the team, I think that we've got a really young, exciting squad that can do some really good things this year. And if we can all understand that as a group, all keep driving and pushing each other in the right direction, then I think we've got a chance to have a really successful and positive season with hopefully more good days than bad.
Yeah, definitely. I think the same as well. I think we've got some really exciting young players. Obviously, as someone that came through as a young man in the game and then sort of progressed. We've got lots of young players in the team. Is there anyone that stands out to you, sort of training with them? You're looking at them going, like, how on earth have they done that? Is there anyone in the side that you're thinking could sort of make the jump up the leagues?
Yeah, they said everybody in their own right's got different attributes that could play higher than League Two for sure. I think you look at the front line in particular, obviously always get the plaudits and the attention, because that's where most of our excitement is. You've got speed, you've got power, you've got skills, you basically got everything across that front line. But I think all over we've got talent everywhere. So I think anybody in this team, probably bar me and Flano, could step up and kick on and really make a name for themselves in the game. It's all about their own attitude and discipline at the end of the day. If they wanna go and improve and get better and make that jump, then yeah, they've just got to keep their head down, keep working for the team first and foremost, and then yeah, their own individual success will come after that.
Yeah, that's a great answer, by the way. That is
very diplomatic.
That's such a diplomatic answer.
I hope Flano don't listen to this and think he can't get a move.
If he does get a move, he's going to hold that over you, isn't he? Yeah. Jack, it's been great to speak to you. It's been brilliant. It's great hearing how positive you speak about the club and the hopes of for the season and the young players we've got. So I won't take up any more of your time, but I really appreciate you coming on and chatting to the youth fans, and hopefully we'll speak further along the line.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
No worries.